Shalawam, shalawam. Peace, salutations to all the Akim out here pushing this truth, risking your lives for sure, because people don't understand the spiritual battle that we're going through. And the sisters out here who are learning in humbleness, right? And in silence, like the scriptures say. Anyway, first want to give all praise to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Kakadash. This is going to be about a vision, right? That Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi presented to me, right? It's about the times we in right now, right? So, and it's been intensified over the last few weeks. I've been fasting a lot, if you will, right? So I'm gonna play a little bit of this video, right? And the vision the Most High gave me, right? I mean, I could say it's for an appointed time, but he was showing me what's going on right now, right? And then I'm gonna get into some of my testimony. So around this same day and time, right? This is a video that some young ladies had posted online. Where around this same day and time, the same thing happened to me. So within like a few days of each other, right? So I'm gonna show this, right? And then I'm gonna give my testimony and I'm gonna show what the Most High showed to me, right? In my vision, right? So I'm gonna play this and then I'm gonna get to it, but it's prophetic because it's showing. He showed me Isaiah chapter 19, like he unrolled it like a scroll right in front of my face, right? Now, of course, come on, right? Akim out here, y'all know we know Isaiah chapter 19 front and back. Some of us more than others, right? So we know it's very prophetic and it's for here while we're in Babylon. But when the Most High unrolled it, like it's like a scroll, he unrolled it right in my face. He was like, this is right now, right? And we'll get to the wars and stuff that's gonna happen here soon, right? So I'm gonna play this video and I want y'all to pay very close attention. So remember, look at it like this, right? And this is biblical, of course, but the Most High has, right, the nation of Israel, right? The Hebrews, us, the Israelites. So, and we, if you will, right, are his representation on earth. This is why the Lord Yahawashi said, man, isn't it written in your law that you're gods? Well, remember, Satan wants to be like the Most High, right? And he, transform into, his messengers, if you will, to angel of light. So in other words, he has sons and daughters too. Well, this is a spiritual battle. So he sends them out too, right? So the Most High has kings, priests, servants, disciples, prophets, etc. Well, Satan has what? Witches, warlocks, necromancers, divinators, charmers, familiar spirits, right? Seekers of time. I mean, I could go on and on and on. Well, the prophecy, we're going to get into it. He's releasing those now in the end times because most so-called, Negroes, as they call us in Babylon, America, were waking up. They know we the sons of the Most High. So toward the end time, this is what you're finna see right now. They're sending out, all right? And so the devil on the earth is Amalek, is Esau. So he's going to send out his minions like the Most High send us out to get y'all back to him, right? This is a spiritual war. Pay very close attention to this, right? I'm going to just say this before we begin. Look at the outfits. Don't focus on the camera and say, well, they changed lighting. Ladies, this is really for the elect, but the ladies, y'all get this because y'all know all about dresses and skirts and hems and all that. Pay attention. These are two different dresses. All right, I'm going to play this. Pay attention.
It is freaking creepy. 8:41. Somebody knocks on the door. And then, hold on. Check out their outfits.
They're wearing two different dresses from what they were wearing.
It's nothing compared to what they were wearing.
And we saw them. It had polka dots. It had the dresses from the...
I'm going to pause that. Look at the straps, ladies. Look at the sandals, the flowering on the dresses. Watch.
The other one?
We literally just saw them and they were wearing...
And go fast forward, it changes color. Watch, go fast
right forward. As soon as they get over there out of our porch.
What the heck is this? This is at 8:41.
Look, they have
And they
And
said
then
they were a
that's-
missionary, you know.
But missionaries don't come at 9 p.m. though. That's
I asked them, that, it's late. And they left. And they said, I'm sorry, not trying to be rude.
That's creepy.
Right there. We need to pause it right there. Let me go back to that. I want y'all to focus definitely right there. Right?
Come at 9 p.m. though. That's
I asked them, that, it's late. And they left. And they said, I'm sorry, not trying to be rude.
Right
That's
there.
creepy.
Look at the dresses, the straps. Y'all see that? Look at how that looks. The arms, the straps on the dresses, the bottoms, the hems, right? And when you go back, now a lot of people don't understand. They don't understand what they're really looking at. Now, those who have different sort of Vivian cameras, Ring cameras, whatever you got, I don't know, Brinks, you know that once that girl backed out and went to that time, that's accurate. I've had Ring, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? Look at the girl in the front. They're two different dresses. So forget about the camera switched from full color right there to, it turned the light on, the night light on. There's two different dresses. Now, remember, they come out as so-called Jehovah's Witnesses and all that, right? Christianity, Baptist church, Pentecostal church, Jehovah's Witness. There's over 20,000 different denominations of Christianity. Which one is right? Remember the end times, right? Like scripture say they were going to create a different religion or a different doctrine. Well, who created it? It's all Esau. It's all Amalek. So it matters big time. They're sending them out. Now, here's why I'm saying this, right? So I'm going to get to, let me show y'all something here. Okay. So I'm going to pause this right here. Okay. I'm going to pause it right here. And I'm going to say, so this is one of the cameras from one of my doors. Okay. About 2 days prior to this, by the way, this is at the same time. Notice it's nighttime. About 2 days prior to this, I'm sitting in a public park, right? Minding my business, and it's mad crowded, right? Full of people everywhere, children playing, all different races. It's Babylon, right? Mixed multitude. It's mad crowded. I'm just sitting on the bench, minding my business. These same two she-saws that you see right now, these same two necromancers, these same two Wiccans, these same two witches, they walked through the entire crowd. Now I could see them coming from far away because it was like a game or something going on. They walked through everybody and hit a beeline directly to me. They passed up at least 75 different people. They walked straight to me and said, hey, almost verbatim, do you want to go to church with us? I said, no, I'm good. Then they said, do you want to come and have lunch with us? Like almost as if do I want to go on a date or something with them? And I just looked and I already knew what it was. I was like, this nigga done sent try to sick his little Wiccans on me. Right? And I said, no. And I got up and walked away, right? I removed myself from the situation. This was a few days later. Now, mind you, I'm nowhere near my house at the time. I'm a few miles away I'm nowhere near my house at the time. This is a few days later. Keep in mind the video you just watched. This was a few days later. I wasn't even at home. The same two girls, the same two devils, if you will, who walked up to me at the park miles away were magically knocking at my door just now at nighttime. Like the young lady said, hold on, they don't come around 9 o'clock. Look at that. You see the time? You see that? These the same two. These the same two.
I think when people are in a state of denying God, there's miserable. Yeah. Have you noticed? There's conflict and they're just angry and you just can't.
Okay, I'm gonna get to exactly what y'all seeing. These are the same two that walked up to me, right? And I noticed it because you go back and check the cameras. I said, hold on. Mind you, it is nighttime and it was just getting ready to storm heavily. They did not go by any of the other neighbors' houses on this particular day. They didn't go by. Of course, you know, I checked. They only came to my house and then, boom, disappeared. How did they know where I stayed? How did they know to hit a beeline directly for me? The only Israelite sitting there, right? And so now I'm going to get to what the Most High was showing me, right? So, as a matter of fact, let me get to exactly what a lot of people don't understand exactly what we're looking at. Well, Isaiah 19, yeah, but I'm also go down here to 1 Samuel chapter 28. I want to get right to it, right? Because they're out here. There's a bunch of witches, warlocks, wizards, Wiccans, necromancers, charmers, all of that. They're sending all of them out now. Just like y'all won't hear us, there's priests, prophets, disciples, servants, teachers. Like, it's a spiritual battle. You're going to have to pick a side, right? Like the Most High said, draw a line in the sand, right? They can't touch and bother the Israelites. I think that's in the book of Numbers, right? It says, surely no, I'm roughly paraphrasing, no divination or no spell shall prevail against Jacob. I mean, against the Israelites. If you doing what the Most High said, they can't touch you. There's a video floating around on social media now, and it's I don't know if they call her a master witch, whatever she is. She does black magic, and she said, most people, yeah, I can cast a spell on. And she said, almost everybody that's inside the church, I could cast a spell on. Why? Because you're under the witch's cone of power head. You're under a spell already. She said, most people I can. Then the dude brought up the Israelites. She said, most of them I can't touch. Because that's in the book of the law. That's in Numbers. She said, no, I can't touch them. It's going to return upon her tenfold. She said, no, I can't do that. Right? And that goes back to the book of Numbers. But for example, I'm going to get this right here in 1 Samuel chapter 28. Right? Now, I'm not going to read all this. I'm going to roughly paraphrase most of it. 1 Samuel 28, I just go to 9. Right? This is when Saul tried to seek out the woman that had familiar spirits, right? And then the Most High killed him and his sons for it. Y'all gonna read this, right? 1 Samuel 28:9, right? And the woman said unto him, behold, right? So this woman that was of familiar spirits, and she was able to seek familiar spirits, right? When they say familiar spirits, that means they can call up someone from the dead or the spiritual realm, etc., who's familiar to you. Now, we can get to that later. They can also shapeshift. They can change clothing like you just saw the other woman do. They can do all this stuff. This is real. It's not a game. The woman said unto him, behold, thou knowest that Saul had done, how he had cut off those that have familiar spirits and the wizards out of the land. Because the Most High commanded, he said, you go and find every single witch, wizard, warlock, familiar spirit, seekers of familiar spirit, and he said, you chop their head off, get them out the land, right? Now, this is how serious the Most High was, right? And I'm gonna get to something else. I think it's 2 Chronicles 33, right? 2 Chronicles 33:6. And he caused his children to pass through the fire in the valley of the son of Hinnom. Also, he observed times, right? So there's observers of times and seekers of observers of times. You're not supposed to be manifesting and letting people read you and all this type of stuff. The Most High gonna kill them both. Now I'm gonna get to these devils that Satan and his children are sending around right now. Also, he observed times and he used enchantments and used witchcraft. That's what you just saw. That's a part of what you just saw. It's just a softer, deeper form of it. You got witchcraft, black magic. You got all this stuff. Right? And dealt with familiar spirits and with wizards. He wrought much evil in the sight of Yahawah to provoke him to anger. This is what nothing is a coincidence. Like this is why I said we got to be vigilant. People got eyes to see but can't see. Those young ladies who saw that in her camera and they literally, once they stepped out, once they had the light shined upon them, for example, right? When you have the light, the truth, right? The truth is the light, etc. And the law is the lamp. Roughly paraphrasing, it exposed them. Like for the Israelites, like when we see stuff like this, we expose it, right? So when they walk back into that light, they got exposed, right? Let's get this in let's get back to the vision Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi put to me. And it's for an appointed time, meaning now, right? This is what's going on now. By the way, all those countries that was meeting up in China and all that, plotting against the United States, Trump, right? He know what's popping. He know what's going on, right? This is what we reading prophetically. Isaiah chapter 19, verse 2. I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. This is talking about everything you finna see. It's going to be Amalek, Esau, etc. They're going to be fighting each other. So-called Negroes, black people, whatever, right? We supposed to be sitting back in our chambers, eating our popcorn. They finna out-war and out-evil and kill and unalive each other. They're going, well, they're already in it. They're in World War III. We ain't in nothing. This is their fight. This is the prophecy. The Most High is stirring up this perverse spirit so they can all fight and take each other out. Right? I believe it's Joel chapter 3. They're going to be taken down, or Joel chapter 3, they're going to be taken down to the valley of Yahawah. Right? Well, I'll get that in a sec. Verse 2, I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, kingdom against kingdom. But they say the Old Testament is done away. This is exactly what the Lord Yahawashi was telling people in the New Testament. He's saying, look, in the end times, you finna see this. But we couldn't fathom it back then. The disciples and everybody around, they couldn't fathom it back then. Like, what are you talking about, dude? We in Jerusalem. He was talking about the end times. The Most High was showing him exactly what Isaiah is talking about right now. Now look, verse 3. And the spirit of Egypt, this is what's going on right now. It shall fail in the midst thereof. Everybody pride, think Trump got it and all this stuff. No, their spirit is falling. Everyone is slowly surrounding Babylon right now. That's why China, Russia, India, North Korea, all of them meeting up. They are plotting. It's about to go down. They plotting. They finna surround it. That it's written in the scripture, so it's gonna happen. The spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof. I will destroy the counsel thereof. Right? All the wise men out of Edom, like mentioned in the book of Obadiah. The Most High gonna destroy all the wise men out. All your warriors, General Custard, all them boys y'all think smart in the Pentagon. It's a wrap for them. Right? And they shall seek. This is what's going on now from what we just saw in the young lady's video and in mine and in my testimony. They're going to seek. They're going to try everything they can to delay the coming of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. They're going to send out their workers of iniquity. And what do they typically do? They're going to send out the so-called white. They're going to send out Esau's wives, Esau's daughters. That's what you were seeing. You were seeing witches, Wiccan, necromancers, divinators, charmers, all of them that's going to start coming to y'all doors. And notice they're coming 8:45, 9 o'clock. This is during school hours. Think about that movie called Sinners, right? Or think about any vampire movie. In order for these spirits, these entities, these demons, these devils to get in your home, you have to allow them in. I cannot stress that to y'all enough. Especially our Christians who be, oh, Jeebus and Jeebus. Y'all are not protected. Y'all are unprotected right now. Whether if you know it or not, you are if you ain't calling on the name of the Most High, you ain't calling on Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, you are unprotected right now. Knowingly or unknowingly, it's too much knowledge out here to not know that the letter J didn't exist until 500 years ago. It's too much knowledge out here for that. All right? So watch. Let me keep reading it. Let me start over. Isaiah 19:3. And the spirit of Egypt, America, Babylon, shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof. And they shall seek to the idols, Jebus, because that's an idol, and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards. This is what you are seeing. Let me go back to that. Let me go back to this, right? This is what you're seeing. Not only with them, I'm going to play it, but not only with them, with your satanic Roman Catholic Christian church pastors, deacons, all of them, Peter Popoff, Joel Osteen, yes, your black pastor too. They all meet up on the third Mondays of the month. Listen. All of them. Even you got some satanic Israelite camps out here too. Yes. All of them, they're going to turn to them to get y'all to turn astray and to get you under a spell or warlocking. Most of these men out here teaching, they're warlocks. They're not going to give it to you raw. All right. They are partnered in with the devil. Look.
It is freaking creepy. 8:41. Somebody knocks on the door. And then, hold on.
If you got ring, you know she ain't capping. It has to do it like that.
They're wearing two different dresses.
Shoulder
from
straps,
what they were wearing.
Shoes.
Is nothing compared to what they were wearing.
And we saw them. It had polka dots. They had the dresses from
go
the...
back to the other one.
We literally just saw them and they were wearing...
And like, go fast forward, like it changes color. Watch, go fast
right
forward.
As soon as they get over there out of our porch.
Soon they got into the light.
What the heck is this?
Soon they get into the darkness.
Look, they
said they were missionaries.
So if she would have opened that door, you allow them in. Think about the movies. Think about people you allow into your house. If she would have opened that door, it would have been a wrap, right? Now, just imagine if you and I'm just talking about our people. You're a strong, independent black woman, right? You have no covering, no man at the house, none of that. You are wide open. Eve is out here wide open. That's what the prophecy states all throughout Isaiah and the New Testament. Y'all out here wide open, have no idea. They just, we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but yeah. This is what's coming. Okay? So this war is finna pop off. Right? This war is finna pop off. This blood moon, I'm gonna roughly paraphrase, but I think it's September 8th, September 9th. Nevertheless, that's during the real Feast of Tabernacles. That's the sign that you're looking for right there. All right? This right here, right? Same thing happened to me. Same thing. These same two approached me, I'll just say out in the wilderness. I'm out in public. I'm just out chilling. How did they know exactly where I live? How did the same two come? Look. But see, if I wasn't vigilant, didn't have eyes to see or ears to hear, right? Let's say, even if I would have been, those who know me, even if I'd have been home, I still wouldn't open the door. Who are you? I ain't expecting nobody. I grew up in the hood. Like, somebody can knock. They going to be out there knocking all day. I ain't expecting nobody. Who are you? It's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Right? So anyway, I just want to say, look, with that, they're finna pull out all of their tricks. Like the Most High showed me, he unrolled that scroll. Now I'm gonna keep going, right? Because I just read this. Isaiah 19:3. And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof. I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols and to the charmers and to them that have familiar spirits and to the wizards, right? I'm gonna just keep going through, right? Look at verse 8. We are in these times, right? Because that war finna pop off. The fishers also shall mourn, and all that cast angle into the brooks shall lament, right? And they that spread nets upon the waters shall languish. Let me give you a present day prophecy for today. This, what they got, September 2nd? Yeah, okay, September 2nd, right? All of the beaches around the entire United States over so-called Labor Day weekend, they were all filthy to be in. They were filled with poop. That's what you just read. What I just pulled up in Isaiah, how all the waters and all that were going to be filthy and nasty and all that right before the war. Right before, the shores got invaded and all, they said they're going to be filthy. He said he gonna mess up the waters and all. That's what you just read. Look, over the holiday weekend, what it say, y'all? Over the holiday weekend, many people looking to cool off from the summer heat were disappointed, right? As summer beaches were closed or authorities advised against swimming because of the unsafe levels of bacteria. This was pee, poop, whatever you want to call it. It was disgusting. Look, it's everywhere, right? Let me close this. Advisories and closures popped up across the East Coast from Florida to Maine, the Gulf Coast, in the streams and the rivers throughout the California coast, right? Fecal contamination detected in the water. Now, I don't care who you are. If you go swimming, it get in your eyes, it get in your ears, it get in your genitalia parts, get in your butt. You know it or not, when you swim in some water, still get in your mouth. I don't care. You may not swallow it, but it get in your mouth. That's intentional. All of that is on purpose. All of that is on purpose, right? So with that said, I really just want to kind of get that out. Look, they going to turn and they shall seek to the idols and to the charmers and them that have familiar spirits and to the wizards. Y'all pay very close attention. Be vigilant, right? Y'all should be keeping atonement, especially we in the holiest month, right? The month of September is 7 anyway. Y'all need to stay vigilant, prayed up, not even to Jeep. Listen, it's too much knowledge out here, right? And right now, when we teach and all that, it's only for the elect anyway. It's only for the 1/3 anyway. We don't teach for everybody. People say, we need to teach and do this so everybody can understand. No, everybody not going to understand. He told us only go to Israel and only the elect. So look, be mindful who you encounter and keep your hands to yourself. Don't be dapping up everybody. Right? I forget the name of that movie with Denzel Washington where every time people shook hands or you touched somebody, the energy or that spirit or that devil transferred. That's real. Be mindful of that. Be mindful and vigilant when you're out in public, especially now. Don't be in large areas. You know what I mean? Don't be all at, a Chris Brown concert, an NBA YoungBoy concert. None of that foolish YN stuff. All right. So with that, hopefully brothers and a few sisters of the lake been edified. Shalawam.